Well, the Fung Global Institute is formed to provide innovative thinking, bringing Asian insights, Asian experience, Asian perspectives to important global issues. It's very important that a good part of that agenda be focused on businesses, who are the drivers of growth in the global economy, and the architects of global supply chains, the very important players, and I think part of the purpose of the Institute is to bring businesses into the discussion of achieving important global goals, stability, sustainability, adaptability, and so on, to the discussion here in Asia and then back and forth with the other parts of the world. In that context, I mean, I expect we'll have an expanding research agenda over time, but for starters, we're going to focus on four things. One is China's entering an extremely important set of transitions. They're embodied in the 12th five-year plan. Most people would call these the sort of transitions that go with the middle income passage, where you're no longer poor, your economy is changing structurally to reflect the higher incomes. And we think it's a very important project to look at the 12th five-year plan and the structural evolution of the Chinese economy from the point of view of what business opportunities does it create. I'm sure we'll find some challenges along the way as well. So that's one, and I think that could be of intense interest and very practical. The second one has to do with sort of stability and the global financial system and the distortions in the system that are coming from, you know, low interest rates, crisis exit policies in the advanced countries, and so on. And I think this one has a set of Asian perspectives that are important to share, but the long run goal, of course, that we all share is the creation of a foundation of understanding that enables us to create a stable, functioning sort of global financial system, global monetary system, and so on. I don't think there's a static answer to that, but that I think is a terribly important one. We're going to study global supply chains, partly because a lot of them run through Asia. Increasingly, they run through Asia. Partly because they're very dynamic and they affect things that really matter to people. The architects of these global supply chains are multinational businesses. And they do understand the dynamics. They may not completely understand the sort of social and policy ramifications of this very dynamic sort of moving system. So we're going to study you know, global supply chains. We're going to figure out where they're located in pieces, where they're moving to. I think it overlaps a little bit with the Chinese middle income transition. I mean, China is doing what its predecessors did, which is with higher incomes, they're moving to higher value added activities. And in 10 years, much of what's going on in China is going to move to other countries. And I think one of the things that the Fung Global Institute can do is to explain all this and explain, you know, both the opportunity for the poorer countries that are a little bit later, sort of entering the development process, but also what it takes to compete for your share of these global supply chains.